Our lecture this morning, we're going to begin looking at the basic conditions required for healing in the human body. Number one is pure air. You can go 3 months without eating, though you wouldn't be too well. You can go 3 days without drinking, but you can only go 3 minutes without oxygen. It is oxygen levels that are very high in pure air. Notice the law number 1 of the 8 laws of health isn't air, it's pure air, because pure air has a far higher oxygen content on it. But what I want to do before we have a look at how you can increase the oxygen content in your body, I want to have a look at what oxygen does. Let's make a list. Oxygen. What does it do? In the human body, it invigorates. This is the effect that it has. The effect of taking great amounts of oxygen in the body is that it invigorates, it vitalizes. I would even go so far as to say oxygen electrifies. To understand why it does that, we need to take our minds back to our lecture on Monday where we looked at the aerobic cell. An aerobic cell is a cell that uses glucose and oxygen to give energy, compared to the anaerobic cell, which doesn't use oxygen. The aerobic cell will deliver 18 times more energy than the anaerobic cell. That explains why, when body is well oxygenated, this is the effect. Oxygen also soothes the nerves. And everyone on planet Earth in 2012 go through times where they need nerve soothers, am I right? I remember when I had my first baby, and she is 35 now, an old lady said to me, if your baby won't stop crying and you're getting upset, lay the baby down, go outside and breathe very deeply. What was she telling me to do that for? Because she knew that oxygen would soothe the nerves. I better put an S there. We have many of them. How do you know when someone's getting a little bit irritated? You hear them go, yeah? Do you know, they don't know why they do it, but the body's actually saying, well, they're going to blow a fuse, take a blast of oxygen. On the other hand, what does lack of oxygen do? Hypoxia is a name, a medical term for lack of oxygen. The severe symptoms for lack of oxygen are blue top lip, blue fingertips, and the paramedic looks for that. I have a friend who's a surgeon. She says you can tell when you cut into a person if you're into venous blood or arterial blood. Arterial blood is the system taking the blood away from the lungs, goes into the heart, then into the lungs. Venous blood is the blood coming back. You see, oxygen gives blood the red colour. And when the oxygen is gone, the colour of the blood is blue. That's why some signs of severe oxygen deprivation is the blue fingertips and the blue top lip. But there are many people who are suffering from oxygen deprivation, but they're not quite to the blue lip stage. What are some of the symptoms? Fatigue. The person feels like they've climbed a mountain, they've only just got out of bed. Lethargy. They can't even get out of bed. Nausea. Stomach doesn't have enough oxygen. Headaches. Brain doesn't have enough oxygen. Not the only cause of nausea and not the only cause of headaches, but they are some of the symptoms of hypoxia. One of our daughters, we've got a few daughters that have adopted us as parents. One of our daughters, when Michael learnt to fly, she decided to learn to fly too. And I remember her telling me that when she was studying to be a pilot, she had to study hypoxia because sometimes up in the plane, this can happen. And one of the symptoms, she said, is euphoria. And one of the problems with euphoria is the person doesn't even realise these things. And that's why they must study it, because that feeling could be a symptom of hypoxia. I find that there are many people today that are drifting in the haze that lies between optimum health and severe illness. Do you find so? And when you say to them, how are you? They say, all right, not too bad. What's not too bad? Not too good. How many people, when you say, how are you? How many people say, fantastic? If people said that, you'd probably go, yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in just existing. I want to live. Live life to its fullest and experience, this right till the day I die. There is no reason why not. They've given this a name. It's called chronic fatigue syndrome. Chronic fatigue syndrome has one cause. It's lack of oxygen. Now you might have 20 people with chronic fatigue syndrome, and the threads that come in to cause it can be different in every case. It might be slow digestion, it might be poor digestion, it might be chemical sensitivity, it might be heavy metal poisoning. The causes are varied. You probably have a look at almost over 100 causes of lack of oxygen. But everyone with chronic fatigue syndrome, what are they wanting? They're wanting this.